Are empaths more prone to PTSD? What's up, guys? Mike here from the Healthy Empath. This is something I was thinking about today because I saw somebody post a question about it online, and it's something that is quite personal to me. Having been diagnosed with PTSD, stemming from my deployment to Afghanistan when I was in the Army, and I've worked with a lot of clients who all had various degrees of PTSD from different things, and not many from combat situations or deployment like my situation, but a lot of different other reasons. And so I've been studying trauma for a long time, and doing healing work, and been receiving a lot of info about being an empath, and this concept of learning about the nervous system is really important when it comes to PTSD and to being an empath. And because I think empaths are hyper prone, or more prone to, because of their hypersensitivity, and so they're more likely going to be affected by something or feel it on a deeper level. And so it's hard to give who can really say, oh yeah, yes they are because XYZ. But I guess just kind of logically thinking about it and just observing my experiences of the past and feeling it out, and then it would make sense. And I like the quote from Gabor Mate, I believe it is, when he says trauma isn't what happens to you, it's what happens inside of you. So whatever that trauma may be for the empath, it's not necessarily the thing itself, but it was the entire event and all the belief systems that went in afterwards, and the unprocessed emotions. And so I do think empaths are more prone, and that this is, I think I never read another book too that talked about collective PTSD. It's just something that's in our collective as well. And as empaths who are processing a lot of the energy as a collective, then it makes sense that you're feeling in that energy. You're either bringing that energy in, or you're attracting that to experience yourself, so that you have PTSD in order for you to heal through your PTSD. To contribute to that collective, the healing of the collective, that hasn't been processed for, years and years, from wars and wars, that still exists in the collective. And as empaths, that's part of, our job is to, heal, to contribute to that healing of the collective. And there's a lot of different subjects in here and just the things that keep popping up, and also the idea of your nervous system and how important that is for your connection to your body and yourself and your spirit and God. And I've also read before, and that you experience God through your nervous system, and that kind of did make sense to me. And so if your nervous system is totally fried and on edge and it's not calm, then you are in a way not able to experience the full depth of possible experience here on earth and in your human body and everything that's available to you, because you're always on edge. It's fear and scarcity and danger, and that's kind of hardwires your brain and nervous system for those things. So that's more of what you experience, instead of the safety, the joy, and the wonder. Safety is another topic I'll talk about, because when I do healing work with people, or when it comes to doing the health programs or whatever it may be, safety is one of the first things to work on. How do you feel safe in your body? How do you feel safe in this human experience? And you really need to work on that before everything else, because you need to feel safe enough to even do the deeper work. And so the safer you can feel, the more you can go into your own shadow and into your own trauma to heal that and process that. And I do think empaths are more sensitive to PTSD, and it's also in the collective, and it's not necessarily one certain event. It's just like a conditioning and a program, and this hyper reactivity that contributes to it, and you can heal from it. And then I believe that it's actually your duty to heal from it, and not just cope with it or manage it. I think a lot of people, how do I cope with my PTSD? How do I manage my PTSD? I would invite you to heal your PTSD, to heal through it. There will always be layers of things, but it's like that for everyone. So I mean, maybe everyone, every human has PTSD from that perspective. But yeah, I do believe that I've successfully healed through mine. There are always layers of things that resurface, but again, I what I am like now, in my experience now, is absolutely nothing compared to what it was even a couple of years ago. And I did a lot of different things to work through that. I can make another video on it. Just pretty much, it wasn't even necessarily a particular thing that did it, but really just a decision and a commitment to the journey and diving deep in that, and then using anything that comes your way in order to heal, right? So because if you can heal your nervous system, the PTSD, the calmer you are, and then the more able able you are to go into that space of silence, that space of stillness, and that space of creation, whatever it may be. Like, that space is something so sacred. And yeah, then when you have access to that, you really have so much more access to your power. And a little bit of ranting here, but I hope you found some things in here useful. And if there's anything that I touched on that you want me to explain deeper in future videos, then I would be happy to. This is a big thing for me, right? Because it's my story. One of my journey is I went through in healing that. So, and that's one of the things I work with people. I do a lot of health stuff, health, fitness, weight, all that kind of good stuff. But even more, is the wounded healer and the PTSD. And so I love that stuff, well versed in it. So let me know if you have any questions.